Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. The content that I've got for you tonight is something that I need you guys to send out. This is incredibly important because this is from Chris Murphy. This is Mr. Gun Control in the Senate. Something he said today in an interview on TV is amazingly important. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and we need to watch out for this one. And if you are new or a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and turning the notification bell on. We need as many people as we can to get inside the fold so we can pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation by fighting things exactly like this. Now, one of the things, before I get into this clip, one of the things that gun control advocacies, the gun control lobby, whatever you want to call them, gun controllers in general, they will always try to appeal as innocuous as possible. They will say, it's common sense gun reform. Everyone wants it. Why would you not want this? This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to show you two clips from Chris Murphy. Again, everything is linked, and then we're going to break it down because there's something we all need to be aware of and watch for. Check this out. Here's the first one.
Support. I would love to pass an assault weapons ban. That's unlikely with Republicans in charge of the House of Representatives, but we could make some progress. We could raise the age to purchase an assault weapon to 21. We could require you to get a background check, at least before you buy one of these military-style weapons. There's a litany of things that are possible this year, and I just think the American public is fed up with the NRA, the gun lobby, owning Washington. They demand action. That's why we got something done last year, and that's why I have confidence we can get something done this year.
All right, so let's just kind of set the table here. The question was starting out around background checks, a background check system, because a background check bill has been put in place by a Republican out of Pennsylvania named, what was that guy's name? Brian Fitzpatrick, the only Republican who voted for the assault weapons ban of 2022 in the House of Representatives. Anyway, I digress. Now, the other piece that we're talking about is he just laid out the entire plan for gun control in the Senate and the House and the things that he wants to get done. I would love to see an assault weapons ban, but that's probably not going to happen. So let's settle with raising the age limit from 18 to 21. We've heard that in a lot of places, haven't we? Then we can start with background checks. That makes total sense because everyone deserves a national background check. The only problem with this little situation that Chris is going into, the first thing, is we already have a national background check system. It's run through the FBI. It's called the NICS background check system. You cannot buy a gun in the United States without running through that system in an FFL system. Any gun shop, any pawn shop, any facility that you buy a gun through a business entity, you cannot bypass the background check. It's impossible. It's regulated by the FBI. It's national. So what's he referring to? And that's the big point I want to hit home. If what he's referring to already exists, what could he possibly mean? He's about to let the cat out of the bag right here in the second clip. Check this out.
You just heard Republican Congressman Fitzpatrick talk about a universal background check law. If you had the ear of House Republicans, where would you tell them to start? What's the one thing you think could get off the ground in a Republican House that moves the meter or flies in the U.S. Senate?
Well, the reason why background checks is a good place to start is because it is wildly popular. I mean, I'm not kidding. If you poll like apple pie and kittens, they don't poll as high as background checks do in this country. 90% of Americans think that everybody should prove that they're not a criminal or seriously mentally ill before they buy a gun, Republicans and Democrats. So to me, that is the holy grail. It's the most popular proposal. It is also likely the most impactful proposal because right now, Connecticut, we can't protect our citizens without a national background check law because all these guns get bought illegally in places without universal background checks like South Carolina or Georgia and get brought up to Connecticut. So that's still, I think, the sweet spot, popular and impactful.
All right. So it's the holy grail. Universal background checks are the holy grail. And notice he said something, they are bought illegally in other states. What's to prevent someone from buying something illegally again and still perpetrating the exact same problem? You can't. That's one of the problems. The other big thing that we need to be fully aware of, that in order to have a universal background check system of what he is advocating for is the holy grail. You have to know where every single gun in the United States is every single serial number and who owns it. That is a national registry. The reason they don't come out and say there needs to be a national registry is because that's really un-American. That's really bad, and historically, over the entire course of the 20th century, that's led to some terribly bad things. Around 100 million people dead by their own governments whenever there was a national registration, because it followed by a national confiscation. But they can't say national registration. They have to say universal background check system because it's more popular than apple pie and kittens. Beware of the way that they propose this because they are slick. They are not stupid. They are smart. Their morals, their ethics, and their focus on constitutionality is way off. But they are not stupid. They're going at this from a universal background system, all going and put in place by the one Republican who's still in Congress who voted for the assault weapons ban of 2022. The one and the only reason that it passed the House last year. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.